What is up, everybody? Today we're doing a tier list on Scarlet and Violet Pokemon sets. What are the best to invest in? What are the worst? What are average? Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we're just going to go in order from the first Scarlet and Violet set, base set, to the newest ones, Black Bolt and White Flare. We're going to be ranking those even though we know basically nothing about them. All right, we'll just see if I'm right in the future or not. First up, Scarlet and Violet. Oh my gosh, it's raining really loud. So if you can hear the rain, that's what it is, or hear some static noise. Scarlet and Violet base is a set that I feel like is definitely just, it can't go above B tier, to be honest with you. And it's probably like a C. Honestly, I feel like some of these sets are underrated, even though price-wise they are. Some of these like chase cards are just, like booster boxes of this have been going up. The chase cards have actually not been going up at all. The Gardevoir's still under $50. I think it's a pretty nice card. The Drowsy dropped off a ton, and then all these other ones are sitting around 20. So it's not the best though. I'm gonna give it a C tier. It maybe could go to like a far B, depending on what's in B later. But for now, it's gonna be C. Next up is Paldea Evolved. This is one that I think is a top tier set. Honestly, I've always backed this one. The one bad part is that it doesn't have a top tier special illustration. The top card is a Magikarp illustration with the Gyarados hidden up there. Beautiful, beautiful card though. I wish that was just a special illustration. It would make this set a lot better if that was even harder to pull. And then it's followed up by several other really solid illustration rares. And then honestly, this set has a ton of special illustrations, and I think a lot of them are pretty underrated. Like you got Skeledirge here, you got a Meowscarada that's sitting around $20. And then there's several other ones down here as well. I feel like definitely have a lot of potential. Paldea Evolved, one of my favorite sets, is going in A tier. And Obsidian Flames up next. Oh my gosh. My power might go out mid-recording. We'll see. We will see. Obsidian Flames, another one that I feel like should be better than it is, but it's just not. And I'm not going to rank it high because of that. But the Charizard chase, I guess people got tired of Charizard. This I thought was a cool card. I guess not everybody thinks that. Gold Charizard, decent card. Ninetales, I think, is a pretty solid card, but still under $20. There's just not a lot of set value inside of here with the cards. The booster boxes are kind of expensive, but when it comes to value inside of the boxes, there's not much, and that's not going to help a box really long term that much. I'm going to put Obsidian Flames in the D tier. This is one of the lowest sets when it comes to like price per 10, like the top 10 cards price wise. So that's where we're going to put it. 151. I mean, we all know this is a pretty solid set. You got $200 Charizard in here. Beautiful Charizard. It's the original 151 Pokemon. I don't have too much to say about it. It's S tier. And I think, I think this may be the #1 set in Scarlet and Violet. There's only a couple that can even contend with this one. But for me personally, I think this is #1. Paradox Rift. Now, here's one that I'm glad is actually doing well, because this is a set that I said from the beginning is pretty underrated. I think the Groudon's a pretty solid chase card. Once again, it's an illustration rare, kind of like that Magikarp. But Altaria EX here has been making moves upwards, and this is a really nice special illustration. Altaria, not the most popular Pokemon by any means. I think Roaring Moon is definitely an underrated card as well. You got a nice Garchomp special illustration. The Garchomp, like the actual card illustration itself, is pretty mid. It could definitely be better. I think that's why it's only a $30 card. Then when it comes to like depth, this set is full of depth. You got a Steelix down here. You go down, you got more Petco, a bunch of these newer ones. You got a Tapu Koko with a nice little illustration, and it's got pretty good depth down here. Even a cute Magby card. I think this set is pretty solid. Even a Garbodor, like that's a decent Garbodor card. So for me, this is a B tier set. May even be low A tier. Like I really like Paradox Rift. What we got next? We got Paldean Fates, one of these specialty sets. This one, we all know it's good. We got the Bubblebee, we got the Charizard, we got a Gardevoir. Pretty solid top 3. Like in terms of like all the sets, this is one of the best top 3s there is. Mew, Charizard, Gardevoir, you got an Iono, you got a shiny Pikachu, a bunch of shiny starters here with Charmander, you got Snorlax. I mean, after these top 3, it does kind of fall off because it's all the shinies and there's not really illustration rares or anything like that. You got these hyper rares that are, some people probably like them, some people probably don't care for them. And that's where it kind of falls off a bit. If it had these top 3 and then some illustration rares, I feel like this set would be a lot more sought after, but it's all the shinies. And yes, there are people who love the shinies, but and there are some illustration rares, but these are also really easy to pull as well. So for me, Paldean Fates is an A tier set. I think it's close to that S tier, but for me, it's going to be A tier behind Paldea Evolved. Temporal Forces. This one is the most confusing one to me because it's hard to rate it. We have all the like new legendary type of Pokemon in here, Iron Crown, Raging Bolt, or they're not new, they're just the ancient and futuristic versions. And I just don't know how sought after those will be in the future. It depends if they like keep these around in like the games and anime and whatnot. It just depends. Will people be searching for an Iron Leaves EX in the future? I don't really know. There's a nice Ghastly in here. There's a Morty's Conviction with Gengar. There's a pretty nice Metagross illustration. But when it comes to special illustrations, they're all these new stuff. And I don't know how much they actually hold. So for me, Temporal Forces is a D tier set. Just because I'm not bought into it. I know some people are really high on it. I'm not bought into it. Actually, we'll move it behind Scarlet Violet and C. Because there is another set worse than that. Twilight Masquerade, next one up. You have the Greninja sitting around $300. One of the most expensive. Besides, if you don't count Prismatic, it might be the most expensive still when it comes to card chases. What was that Belba Mew at? 302. So it's close. It's close. It's up there. That's all you got to know. Pretty nice trainers as well. Some special illustration trainers that got a lot of value. You got Eevee at $60, and then after those two, I feel like it kind of falls off. I remember when this set first came out, I did not think it was going to do that good unless Greninja carried, and then Greninja went ahead and carried. So you have all these masks as well. It's decent. You got some nice like illustration rares down here somewhere. Where's that? Infernape? That's a pretty cool one. To me, this has never been a top one, and when booster boxes were more expensive than like Paldea Evolved and nearly as expensive as Surging, I just didn't get the hype below Paradox Rift. I like Paradox Rift better. Shrouded Fable. Now, this is the set that can get me in trouble. This is my hot take of the video. I've been back in this set for a while. I think it's extremely underrated in terms of how people talked about it. I'm not saying it's the next big thing, but people talking about Shrouded Fable like it was the worst of the worst. And in reality, it's not. Its top 10 value is more than Obsidian Flames, Scarlet Violet base, almost more than Temporal Forces, more than Stellar Crown, and there might have been one more that was close to it. Like Paradox Rift might be close to it in terms of top 10 value. Where's it at here? Right here. This is now the chase again, the Earthen Vessel gold card. For a little bit, it was the Persian. It's kind of dropped off. Persian, still one of my favorite illustration rares in all of the Scarlet and Violet. All these sets, Persian, I really like. Pheasantipity is making a move up here. It's about a $50 card. You got two cards here around, or three cards around $50. A Cassiopeia sitting around 40. More in the 30s. I mean, look at how many cards are in the 30s. And then in my Shrouded Fable videos a few months ago, the sheer amount of cards over $10 was crazy. And you got multiple here close to $10. There's just so much value in this set. Hardly any of these like illustration rares are cheap. And it's mainly the full arts where they start getting cheap. It's pretty full. I mean, the one thing this lacks is a major chase card, but if this had Greninja in it, this would be way better than Twilight Masquerade, in my eyes. I think Shrouded Fable is an underrated investment, especially if you got on to some of those Pokemon Center ETBs before they sold out, because they were the last ones available. Do I think it's amazing? No, but I definitely think it's underrated, and it's top of C tier. It's above these three, in my eyes. Now you have Stellar Crown, another set that's kind of mid. I mean, Squirtle's good. It's just an illustration rare, though. Terapagos EX is the top special illustration. Then you have Bulbasaur, really like almost less than $1 behind it. Doxbun, Hydrapple, and then it kind of just goes down. Like, what other illustration rares are here? Zoroa is a cool like card, but we're already here in the $5 range. I mean, shoot, there's not a ton of stuff that reaches out to you with the set. These are cool illustration rares. Is not it for me, and it's D tier. It's second. Is first in the D tier. Obsidian Flames, the worst one. Surging Sparks, another one that has a pretty solid chase with the Pikachu. It's fallen off a lot since release, but you also have just so much depth in Surging. Surging is one of the best ones with depth that we have, and I really like it. I just picked up Hydreigon last week. Surging is an S tier set, behind at 151. Now time for Prismatic. And Prismatic, well, no, it's a $1,300 Umbreon, $500 Sylveon. Do we even need to look at the prices? Look how many cards are worth more than $100. The pull rates, sorry, are really hard to get. I think that adds to sealed stuff rather than hurting it. Prismatic, to me, 151, I feel like nostalgia based is the better investment. Like nostalgia and 151, I think will hold and be easier to sell than Prismatic in the future. But Prismatic and those evolutions, definitely really good. And I'm not trying to I mean, these are like 1A, 1B. Honestly, you can put either one forward. The hot take might be to have 151 forward, and that's what I'm gonna do. Journey Together, actually forgot this was a set altogether, and I forgot to pull up the price guide. Let's do that. Most of you guys know my opinions on Journey Together. Here's the Lily's Clefairy, the top card, $162. It's still not even worth that much, man. This is not 162. Look at the other chase cards of some of these sets that are like not even $100 and tell me that Lily's Clefairy is better than them. Lily's Clefairy is the same or just a little bit less than this Charizard. It's more than this Gardevoir. It's just not. It's just not. $160 Lily's Clefairy is only 40 more than the Charizard SIR for 151. You literally cannot argue with me that this card is anywhere near that. The values just don't make sense. You got a pretty mid Salamence. Yeah, Journey Together. You know my opinions if you watch my channel. If you're new here, I don't really like it. That's all I'll say. I do think it's a little bit better, but I don't know. This one's a tough one to rate. I think it's got to be above Shrouded Fable. I want to put it C tier, honestly. Like, especially with the prices of the boxes, you should not be buying it right now. Like, investing-wise, this is an F tier. Long-term holds, it probably reaches up to C tier, but it just really depends how much they be reprinting it. This is what these last four here are tough because we're not too sure how much they will be reprinting it. I mean, even with Prismatic, but we've had a lot of Prismatic reprints already, and prices aren't doing too much. These ones, we'll just have to see what the printing looks like. Journey Together, if it gets printed a lot, it's low for me. Yeah, I'm not putting it in B. It's going to be top of C. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about that. Destined Rivals, we don't have any card prices for these. This one releases in like a week and a half. It's like almost 2 weeks. Just under a week and a half, or under 2 weeks, sorry. Destined Rivals has a lot of depth. I think it's going to be up here in A tier. It's got the depth. It's got a Mewtwo, Ho-Oh, Garchomp, all those other cards that I'm blanking on right now, but the coughing, the wheezing, whatever else is in there. It's got good depth. A Wild Effect card. I think Destined Rivals will perform pretty well and probably sit around here fourth behind Surging. It could definitely be ahead of Surging, but we have no data to back that other than just the card itself. So that's what we'll sit around. Black Bolt and White Flare. I mean, it's hard to rate one of these higher than the others. Apparently, there's going to be 156 illustration rare cards within the two of these sets. Or maybe I'm getting that confused with something else. But I think they're going to be pretty hyped up, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to put them here in B because we have no information. Like, we've seen maybe a couple illustration cards with the starters. I can't rate them when we don't know like basically nothing about them. Rate them high at least. I can't put them in SRA when we know basically nothing. So we're gonna put them high B. I think this is gonna be my tier list here. Stellar and Obsidian, I don't like. Temporal Forces just barely makes it to C. Scarlet Violet base, I think is okay. Shrouded Fable, I think is underrated compared to the rest of these. Journey Together, I think is respectably C. It could go lower. Twilight Masquerade, Paradox Rift, Black Bolt, White Flare, I think are all average. Paradox Rift could be underrated. Paldean Fates, Paldea Evolved, Destined Rivals all got pretty good depth, and they performed well since they've been out. At least Paldea and both the Paldeas here. Destined Rivals, of course, isn't out yet. The top ones are the bangers, the top three. I think those are unanimous top three. Anyways, let me know what you think. I'll see y'all next video.